Greetings, beloved. Welcome to Togetherness Media this evening. I am Anthony Powers, and I'm overjoyed to be here with you today. All right, so if you have friends and family or some people neighbors that you've been in a little bit of conflicts, disagreements, during this political season, there's been so many disagreements on issues, on candidates, and everything else. Call them. Reach out to them, tell them, okay, let's watch this together because I want us to communicate better and focus on being better with each other. So I'm going to give you a chance to reach out to everybody, and we'll be right back.
Come on in and listen close. I will tell you how this goes. Light a match and watch it glow. But when it hurts, just let it go. Funny how we meet again. Talking small is just for show. So I will ask you where you've been. I don't really care though. 'Cause I knew in time you would return. 'Cause I felt the curse.
Welcome back. This is Anthony Powers, and today we're talking about focusing on our commonalities instead of on our differences. That's the thing. So many people focus on their differences, and that's why we have so much conflict instead of focusing on why we're the same and why we're together. And to help us delve through this topic, we have yoga master, coach extraordinaire, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Amanollah G. How are you doing today, sir?
Excellent. Good to see you.
You too,
How you
too,
doing,
brother.
Anthony?
I'm divine. How are you?
I love it. I asked you to tell me that. Exactly. Divine.
Yes. Yeah, that's our state of being, especially if we accept it. So, as a yoga master, you're one of the things about yoga is that it teaches us how different parts of our body and different parts of our being are connected. And so many times people aren't even connected to themselves, so they forget that they are connected to other people as well, and in divine ways and divine connections. So they focus so much on the difference and how things are separated. Would you like to speak a little bit on this topic for us?
Oh, definitely. Actually, the whole point about identification, who I am, is on the base of what is my perception, and based of that perception, we say this is my family.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, before family, this is my body. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm separated from my mother, sister, brother. And then this is my family. Now I put another boundary and I said my family and other people. And then based off that, we create another identity that is a bigger one. Probably is the gender part of it, or it's a
Tribe.
tribe, exactly. Even neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
that we are living. Oh, this is our neighborhood. And
Mm-hmm.
the same way that you said from the hood, that's exactly all of us, we thinking like that. And one thing is uh, also from the city, uh, from the state, and
Mm-hmm.
then from this
Region.
color, blue
Yeah.
or red, or liberal or conservative. And what we do is our mind needs to identify itself. It's a
Mm-hmm.
natural uh, need and desire of the mind. But the other part of it is also, as soon as we create this separation, now all of a sudden we get, it's like if I say this body, it's only me, all of a sudden it would be me and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Now it's our family and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Now,
We create so many times we create a world filled with walls. We build so many walls to keep things on the other side, to wall out. Like I always say that 1/8 inch of skin has been one of the largest barriers, the hardest barrier to penetrate through in America's 400-year history. You know, there are like so many other walls and barriers, like you said, so many shackles of identity that lock ourselves to things and at the same time become deadbolts to lock others out of the identity. And people create their own little miniature safety shells and safety cells, but just as they are keeping others out, even more damaging, we are keeping our own selves locked in.
exactly. And one of the things is mainly anytime when I ask you how you're doing and you're telling me the divine, I really appreciate because you are one of the few people who always acknowledge the experience of the divine in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, all of us, we are with the divine. We are swimming in the divine. We are
Yes.
breathing the divine. There is nothing else but the divine. But because of that activity of our mind, we are separating ourselves, and then we feel alone, lonely, miserable, separated, in danger, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember a friend of mine. He was in he, he's he's from Guatemala, and he was watching the uh, soccer game between Mexico and another team, and then he was very excited for both teams. Even it was not his team, but he was excited. And somebody said, "Whose team are you in?" He said, "I am from Team Earth."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy didn't have anything to say because all of us, we are Team Earth. There is
Yeah.
no other, yeah. So one of the things is really uh, can even it's very um, deeply. It could be healing even when you are alone at home. Just starting, as you said, starting focusing on common things.
Mm-hmm.
The most common, um, the
Yeah.
most smallest common thing that every has is that carbon, carbon.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Carbon-based life forms.
yeah.
Yeah.
The books has a carbon. The shelf has a carbon. Body has a carbon. The camera, the phone, your hat, everything has carbon. Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden, all of us we have one thing in common.
Mm-hmm. People
All of
always
us we are
ask me what I
common.
do for a living, and oftentimes I say I breathe for a living. Well, what do you do for a living? I breathe.
If I hold it, I won't be here.
Yeah. What do you, exactly? That's what I do for a living. You know, I breathe, and as I as I as I exhale, the world inhales, and as I inhale, the world exhales. So it's that's that that's that symbiosis that with the planet that we must always realize that we're constantly in. And so many times people forget that the same stardust that's in us is the same stardust that's in the sun, the same stardust that are in the stars that we see millions of miles away. And people feel so isolated and so disconnected from everything around them because they fail to remember what they are the larger part of.
Exactly. So what I can offer you for tonight is a very simple visualization.
Mm.
We can do it. The only thing is, please, if you're driving, don't do it. But You can do it anytime.
Yeah,
It's
because if
very
you're
simple.
driving, we call it, we don't want your car to become a something part of else. So something else. We're talking about how we're all connected. We want your car to stay disconnected from any walls or any other cars. So please,
Exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
say the visualization part of this until you get home.
Yes, exactly. The, just imagine when you inhale,
Mm-hmm.
you pulling the energy from the sun from your over your head, bring it down to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when you exhale, you're shooting it out from your heart. At the same time, when you inhale, you're bringing the energy from the earth all the way up to your heart. And when you exhale, you shoot it out from your heart. So inhale, bring the energy to the center of your chest. Exhale, shoot it out. The heart is a little bit left, but the point is, imagine it's coming to the center of your chest, and then when you exhale, you shoot it out. And what you're shooting out is, I am not only this body, and I'm connected to everything. I'm not only this body, and I'm connected to everything. Very simple.
Nice.
Inhale and exhale, and just be present to this experience.
Yeah. That that's beautiful. Now instead of calling us bleeding heart liberals, we're going to call us breathing heart liberals. I love it. Um, yeah, it's interesting that the way that the heart and the lungs are even more connected than people know. Recently, within the past few years, they found out that the majority of the body's white blood cells are actually not made in our bones, but are actually made in the lungs. So people don't think about breathing and blood and oxygen flow and how close they are together, and that's the main reason for blood flow, is because it brings in the oxygen that you breathe in through the air. It brings it through the rest of your body, and that's one of the main, besides just the vitamins and stuff, but the oxygen of blood. That's why, you know, the blood, the on one side the veins, one side the arteries, that's why the blood in the veins is actually blue, because it lacks oxygen. And our bodies are a continual reminder of the give and take that we must not only make within ourselves, but the give and take we must make that is in the larger body of humanity, in the larger body that is life period on this planet, from all the way from the microbic to plant life to animal life. And as we speak about finding the commonalities between life, we can't just speak about humans, because we need all of these other life forms as well in order for us to stay healthy, even if we don't, in our hubris, forget it at times.
Ah, you said it, the best word, hubris. Isn't this amazing how we forget and we think, hey, here I am.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. So, in yoga, I know one of the things as far as yoga is it helps people at ease with their own personal internal conflicts. It helps them find ease in internal conflicts. What is a way that the practice of yoga can help people who are to ease the external and interpersonal conflicts?
Actually, we lose.
Repeat
There
that.
is no
You repeat
conflict.
that. You just your signal went out for a second.
Yeah, no conflict. Conflict is created by my mind. See,
Hmm.
as a child, as soon as I feel me and the rest of the world, all of a sudden I feel separate.
Mm.
I feel alone. And because I feel alone, now I'm strategizing to do certain things with life.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things is in my any relationship, any conversation, any action, I want to be right
Mm-hmm.
and make you. That's one of the strategies as soon as my ego developed, because I said me and the rest of the world. If you look at about a 2-year-old or 3, normally they don't call themselves me. They're calling themselves as their name. They're saying, Anthony wants this, Aman wants this. So they don't say me, I want this. There is no I for them yet. But as soon as they have that I identity, what is happening, this separation happens. And after that separation, all of these issues arises. And what you're saying, that you say internal conflict, that internal conflict is because of the creation of this illusion of me and the rest of the world.
Yeah, and one thing about when you speaking about that, it really makes me think so many of conflicts is because people take things way too personal. People see everything as a direct attack, as a direct affront on them. And sometimes people's emotions, sometimes people's decisions are just their decisions, and they're not meant to be an offense to your being. They may not be meant to be an offense to what you believe in, but sometimes if we take ourselves out, if we take our egos out of it, if we take sometimes our filters of fear and our filters of past trauma and our filters of past pain out of the equation and try to look through it through our neighbor's filter. What in their experience, what in their life gave them the filter to see the world the way that they do, to see this particular issue the way that they see this particular issue? If we can sometimes just get out of our own narrow perspectives and see things from a different fragmentation of the prism, then sometimes we can see the multiple colors of a situation and of an issue.
Yeah, but that's when it requires certain things to happen to feel, to be open to our if we are willing to be open in such a way that we can feel the other person.
Yeah.
So if my ego is not inflated enough, I may be able. But if it's too big for my own body, it's not. It's not an easy thing to think about others.
It's like a trigger. Remember those Lego My Ego commercials when like it comes out of the toaster? People have little hot point issues. It pops up, Lego My Ego. You know, like their ego gets grabbed when little hot button issues or topics come up, and their ego just pops up out of it, and they think somebody's trying to hold on, take away their identity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I love you, Amanola. Thank you for coming by. Tell everybody where to find you.
Actually, on Instagram, it would be at Amanollah G. At Amanollah G. And also, you can find me at Facebook, Amanollah Ghahraman. As soon as you put Amanollah, but most of the things you see, you don't see the beard. You see my old pictures.
So did you ever end up buying the domain sexyyogi.com? Did you ever go to the site to get that or no?
Which yogi?
Sexyyogi.com. Did you end up?
No, I never.
I love you, brother. I can't wait to have you back. All right.
Definitely. And it's always pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank the divine and keep you doing your work of breathing.
Yes. Likewise. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
That was the amazing master yogi, coach at so many things in life, martial artist, Mr. Y'all know his name already, Amanollah G. Reach out to that man. He's also doing virtual classes and virtual teachings and virtual trainings during this COVID time, so you can still be COVID safe but connected to your highest self. And that's where we're trying to be on Togetherness Media. Speaking of connecting, before we end this segment, I wanted to remind everybody to go ahead and subscribe on all of our different notifications on our Instagram. Subscribe on our website too, if you can find a website. I don't know what a website is, but if you can find it, subscribe there too. But subscribe to our website, togethernessmedia.com. Download the apps on your Android or Apple stores or wherever else you got. We love y'all so much, and we'll be back.